Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black gloss, I'm wearing a grey t-shirt, light grey hoodie, and I'm sitting in Robert's Tesla Model Y, and Robert is...
Oh, a very husky gentleman, hopefully middle-aged, and unfortunately still very thick-haired.
Well, very fortunate for Robert. He's rubbing that in the whole day. Maybe I need to rub your hair for good luck.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're here and the reason why we're in Robert's Model Y is because Robert has just picked up his Model Y, and he very kindly got in touch with me and asked me if I wanted to film the pickup process, particularly because it is in Tesla's new, relatively new pickup location here in Port Melbourne in Melbourne. Now, you'll notice that we're already in the Model Y, so we probably have to rewind a bit and take you through the process of what happens right as you arrive. So let's do that now. So the entrance is, to put it mildly, not that fancy. It's pretty much just a parking lot. You drive into this like industrial complex. They could afford to get a lawnmower in here, I think, once or twice a week. But yeah, you go downstairs into the parking lot. You go up to the floor. I think things are fairly well signed, which is nice.
Yes.
You go up to the first floor, walk in. A lovely person there will welcome you into the reception area, where they will pretty much just ask you if you've got the app set up on your phone.
Yep.
And then they talk you through the process, and the process is what, like 3 steps?
Yes, it was very easy.
It was like continue, next, done. Happy days.
Go down and get your car. Yeah.
Pretty much. And then you go down, and it's interesting, when I drove in, I thought the parking lot where I drove into was where you picked up the car.
Yeah.
Which I thought, this is
A bit dingy.
very unimpressive. But that's clearly just where people park their Teslas, because the actual place is actually quite nice and big and airy, and they've got a whole, it looks like a section in the back where they do detailing and they clean the cars and check them out, all that kind of stuff.
As you'll see later, it was the car was very, very nicely presented while we were doing our checks.
Yeah.
And they were even nice to charge it fully as well.
Which is
Plenty of charges on the wall.
which is very which is nice,
Yes.
particularly not that you're guaranteed, because I have heard some people talk about, on social media, that sometimes they'll arrive and it's not charged, what have you, but
Yep.
from your experience,
Guess it depends on how busy it is.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they walk you over to your bay, and I guess the first thing you did was admire the car, which is nice to look at.
Very much.
And then, if you've got a torch, or even if you've just got, the torch on your phone, have a little bit of a walk around the car, make sure there's no scratches or any obvious issues or anything like that. Check, look in the front, look in the boot, check that the doors all open, that the windows all go up and down, your basic sort of stuff. And if you have a look online, there's actually loads of checklists and things you can download and things like that.
Yeah, which I gave a look at. Yep.
Yeah, which is worth having. But now that we're back in the car, and we've just driven out because unfortunately they had to, now normally you get sort of as much time as you like, but the staff there had to have a meeting or something, and this was like, we'd been there quite a while already,
yeah.
to be fair. And so we just parked outside, and I thought it'd be cool if Robert and I sort of went through, right, you've sat in the car for the first time. Now you get these cards, which are your keys. So very nice, little credit cardy things. So that's the key. And so if you haven't set up the phone app as your key, you put it down there, and I'll get some B-roll of that to show you what that like. Just over here, there's a little NFC connector, and that turns the car on or activates it, or whatever the phrase is.
Yep.
And then you're in. But you actually didn't need to do that because your phone's already set up as a key, I think. So, Robert, we're in the car for the first time. What do you do?
Well, basically, like, I was lucky. I got into the car and it was everything was relatively in where it needed to be, because generally when you drive a car, all your mirrors and seat and your position needs to be. So it was pretty much where it needed to be as it was. However, if it wasn't, I am familiar with it, but I've always forget. So set up your own driver profile, because once you've done that, everything makes it a little bit easier.
And yeah, and particularly if you're setting your seat up, your mirrors, all that kind of stuff, then it's saved to your profile. And don't set up your mirrors and your seats and everything first, and then set up your profile, because then it's going to reset.
Yeah, or it dumps into like valet mode or easy entry or whatever like that. Yeah. So we'll do that. So that's my friend who lovely ordered the car for me. Oh, that is not my name. That is my name. All right, so we've got this. We'll do the mirrors first. So we'll do that. Okay.
Yep, and then just
pretty
use
much
the dial
right in the
the
right place, but I'll just get it there. Then we'll do the right, and we use the left wheel.
Yes.
Because it's all on the left wheel when you're adjusting stuff. I always feel like it should be on the right wheel because you've gone
for
to
the right mirror.
mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'll save that.
And here's one of the first things that annoys me a little bit about this, is once you tap save, the screen stays on, and you actually have to tap on the X to make it go away, as opposed to, like, once you tap on save, it should just go away. And you remember when we went on that, it showed us that we could change the mirrors and the steering wheel, and now it hasn't gone back to the steering wheel, so now we have to manually go and
do everything,
adjust the steering wheel.
Yep.
So just tap on,
that's right.
tap on the car in the bottom right hand corner.
Yep.
And first one up in controls, we've got steering down there.
Yep.
So you can tap on there, and again, it's the left dial, and you can move the steering wheel up, down, in, out, towards you and away from you, and you're comfortable.
Yep. Oh. There we go.
Yep. And when you're happy with where it is,
yeah, as I said, it's pretty much where it
tap on save. And again, for some reason,
yeah, it should just go away.
You have to tap on X.
Yep.
Now, anything else in here that you'd like to sort of adjust? I think a lot of, like, I would say for people who are picking up their car for the first time, I think it's worth going through this list. Just go down the thing and just have a quick read of every little thing, if you're not familiar with it. And just see what kind of stuff that you want to adjust or don't want to adjust. So
yeah, and just get familiar with the menus as well. So.
Yeah. So if we search, that's a fairly new thing that came out a couple of updates
that's right.
ago.
Yeah.
So you can now search. So if you know a specific that you're looking for, like I specifically want to change, the wheel settings, you've got wheels and tires and that kind of stuff, or steering and so on.
Yep.
But let's go into pedals and steering.
That was the one thing. When I rented them, I was just like, how do I change the mirrors again? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And you can just go search, type in mirror,
yeah.
and there you go. So pedals and anything you want to change in here or look at in here?
No, that's all pretty fine. I'll go to standard because I don't need sports steering.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this one, the one pedal driving, that's hold, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, so you're fairly familiar with Teslas already. You've had a play with them.
Yes, I've been to play, and I've hired one, and I've sat in one and played around with it.
So what are the first things that you want to set up here?
Well, I mean, like, main things is like the steering and so forth like that. The next thing probably after, for me, would be to make sure I'm like how I've liked the steering modes and stuff like that. Which one? The hold is the one where you can just do
full one pedal driving.
One pedal driving. So I like that one because that's what I've gotten used to by hiring them.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, one pedal driving is with electric cars. Does this really clever thing where as you lift your foot off the accelerator, the car will use. It's almost like a dynamo when you had a bike back in the days to power the light.
Yeah.
It'll use the speed of the energy. It'll slow the car down, but it'll use that energy of slowing the car down to feed the energy back into the battery. So you can actually slow the car down to a complete stop just by taking your foot off the accelerator. And by putting it on hold, it's quite dramatic. Like, you take your foot off and it's like, ugh, you'll feel it.
Yep.
So it takes a bit of practice to sort of learn how to feather the accelerator, but at least for me, once I got used to it, I could never go back. My wife, on the other hand, had that off for the first 6 months because she didn't like it, and she wanted the car to feel a bit more like a standard kind of automatic, which is why you would have it on creep for those settings.
Yeah.
But you want the one pedal.
Well, going back to like your wife, it's just like somebody that has maybe just always driven an automatic. You've never been a manual person or whatever like that. The best way to think about it is it's actually pretty intuitive to how you used to drive an automatic if you were one of those people that like to drift into the lights, where you would just slowly take your foot off the accelerator and you would just slow down into the lights sort of thing, because normally a lot of the the automatics, they have that, what is it called? I think CTV drive or whatever
I
it
have
was.
no idea what you're
where
talking about.
It basically goes down into the gears yourself, and you kind of get the same sensation of where you're creeping away. You still have to hit your brake because it's still a petrol car, but it's very similar to that. So if you're somebody that's going from an automatic into an EV, Tesla or otherwise, where they have the one pedal sort of feature, that slow taking off the accelerator, it's very familiar when you're doing it that way. So if that's somebody that's got an automatic and they do that, then they'll be very familiar with that.
Don't be scared. Cool. So that's all the things there. Charging, not really anything you need to do there. Nice that your car was charged to 100%.
Yes,
Nice. I have heard from some people that it's not always charged to 100% when you pick it up. So if you do need it charged to 100%, call ahead and just make sure that they do that if they
get
can.
it all done for you. Yeah.
Right, autopilot.
Yep.
So this is all the adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, all that kind of stuff that's built in. Now you haven't gone for enhanced autopilot or full self-drive or anything. You're just gone with the one that's built in.
Not yet. At the moment, it's just the autopilot. I may get full self-driving later on.
For those who don't know, so we'll just go through this really quickly. Traffic aware features, cruise control, auto steer. So this is just traffic aware cruise control. So the car will slow down and speed up depending on the cars in front of you. If you want to know, we're not going to go deep into all of the stuff. I've done an overview of the Model Y. I'll put a link up there, I think, and you can click on it. I can never remember because it's reversed.
Yes.
So I want it in the top.
It feels like it should be over there, but it might be over there.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm just looking at the screen. Yeah, it's going to be up there, but it feels like, for me it'll look like it's up there. Okay.
You'll get the idea.
So self-driving, that's all fairly stock. Anything here that you would change or anything that's not automatic? You've got the speed.
The speed thing, yep. Because I have found that their speedo is very accurate. So while I'm getting used to it, I might just offset it by a couple of Ks.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yep. Speed warning, yes, on display, not chime, because it gets old annoying.
The chime is not charming?
No, it is not. Okay, got medium, got the departure. We'll go to warding for me, because I think I've tried assist before, and the jerking of the wheel kind of freaked me out.
So it's funny. So this is when you're driving along, if you're edging out of your lane, at the moment set to warning, it'll just warn you, hey, you beep beep, you're going into another lane. If you got assist, it will actually the car will actually steer you back into your lane, which I'm used to it now and I actually don't mind it. But when it first happened, I was like, what the why is the car moving me?
By itself.
Yeah, that was
And if you're new to it, it might be just like, I'm just trying to get used to the size of the car, and that's another thing that just can freak you out on top of it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Locks. Anything in there? Now you can see there that we haven't actually set up your phone as a key yet.
No, not yet.
So if we want to do that, we just tap on add key, and then
follow those prompts.
Takes you through, and it's fairly straightforward. We're not going to show you all of that.
Yep.
Anything else in here that you would set?
No, window locks when I. That's good, because you don't want to do that. Car leaf. Yep, good. So if you leave the keys or whatnot in the car, it keeps them open for you. So that's good. So nothing there.
So car left open notification. So if you walk away from the car and it hasn't locked or whatever, the car will lock the doors, close the windows, all that kind of stuff just automatically.
Cool.
So that's pretty nice. Lights. I mean, just most of the stuff you can just leave on automatic, I think.
Yes.
Display, again, set your English. Here it's nice that we've got it set to British English. You can set it to American English or British. Those are your
options.
Only two options, because those are the only two countries in the world that speak English.
Voice recognition. Oh, there's heaps of voice recognition ones though. So
yeah. But if you do change those, particularly if you change the touchscreen language, make sure you remember how to change it back.
Yes.
Because you remember when you did that to your phone and then you spent like half a day trying to work out how to change your phone out of Mandarin or something?
Yep, or depending on our age, when you try to do it to the computer.
Yep. Oh, God, that was awful. Trips, trip stuff, navigation. That's all fairly standard.
Yeah,
nothing to change there.
I do like having the navigation, because it's always good to be reminded of where you need to turn and so forth, particularly coming into Melbourne when I'm not used to it.
So this is something that something that I really like, but also something I don't like about it is that I really like how a lot of the stuff has got this little eye on it. And the thing that I like about that, it shows you more information about whatever it is it's telling you about that button. It explains it. But what I don't like about it is it's not on every button, which doesn't make sense to me, because it's almost like Tesla's assuming, oh, well, you may not know what camera-based detection is, so we'll tell you what camera-based detection is, but everyone knows what view live camera via mobile app means. Now, to be fair, that is pretty self-explanatory, but you can't assume that everyone understands things the way that you understand things. So I would love it if there was a little eye for information on every single button to explain it for people who may not see it as quite obvious.
Particularly when you start getting deep into the settings as well.
Absolutely. Oh, actually, that reminds me, we need to check after we've recorded this. I want to check what if you got the flash drive, because Tesla actually give you a little flash drive in the glove compartment to record your dash cam footage. But I think it's only like 128 gig.
Yes.
Which is not huge, so best just go get just a standard SSD hard drive.
Yes.
And you can plug that into your dash instead. Yes.
Yes.
Service, fairly stock standard. You
actually, a little bit of extra air.
Your tyres need a bit of pressure. There should be 42, and the back left one definitely needs a bit of air. Software updates. Ooh, there's an update available. Lucky you. I don't have the latest update, so that's something interesting to note about Tesla cars is they don't all get the latest update at the same time. So, and I can't seem to find out any sort of reason as to why it does or it doesn't. Like my car seems to be sort of like 2 weeks out. Like I'll see on the Facebook groups, oh, this new update's come out, and then normally about 2 weeks later that update comes out for my car. But there's cars like there's Model 3s that people bought before I got my Model Y. So it's not whether it's newer or older. It just seems to be...
Just thinking like maybe they built to the newer hardware first and then sent it out.
But it doesn't seem to be that.
And then they tweak the older stuff later.
Yeah. Anything else other than sort of like in the car settings, like if we go into the sort of like the standard apps, anything in there that you'd like to set up before you drive away in your new toy?
No, like the radio I'll listen to it later because obviously that'll ruin the video. Copyright strike.
Yep.
No, but nothing at the moment. The Bluetooth I don't need because I'm not going to be worrying about taking phone calls while I'm getting used to the car. So if it's important, they'll call back.
Cool. And what's nice also is you do get the first month of premium connectivity. So premium connectivity is basically the car's sells signals. So you can get data and all that kind of stuff on the car. You can watch Netflix, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. So that comes for free for the first month, I believe.
Yes.
And then it's like $10 or $11 every month after that if you want to continue using it.
Which I'll probably end up doing it because it's just good to have.
It just makes it easy. And it's $10.50. It's $10, $11 a month. It's not a big deal.
Like 2 coffees in Melbourne.
It'll be one soon.
One soon, yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. That's pretty much everything.
It's just like one friend of mine said this would be like, it'd be nice if they gave you a bottle of champagne like they used to when you get a new car. But from a whole delivery point of view, this has been like the most painless car delivery that I've ever had.
If we ignore all the filming stuff.
Well, yes, all the filming stuff and like, getting it like, paying for it and stuff like that. But actually you get to the place and you say, here, I'm here to pick up my car. And they'd be like, yeah, great. And then it's just like a few taps on the app, as we said before, and it's done.
Go check out
and you go sit in the car and then you just do all the little checks like we've just done now.
Brilliant. Well, that's nice and simple. Yeah, that is the pickup process of a Tesla Model Y in Port Melbourne. I hope that was useful. I hope that was helpful. Robert, thank you so much for inviting me to come along. I really appreciate you making the effort. Even you had a few extra complications and we made it happen, so that's great. We made it happen.
That's the main thing. We
really
got it
grateful. If that was useful, if that was helpful for you, please like and subscribe. Also, apparently the bell, if you click on that, that's good for me, and I like things that are good for me. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving.
You too.
Cool. Now let's push stop and hope that we got something. We don't actually have that many bloopers.
No.
We'll have to stuff up.
I was worried. I was like going, don't say anything wrong.
But now what am I going to do? I've got no bloopers.
Oh, okay. Well, just get Simon to come in and say like,
I'll get Simon to come in and say something. Simon, you can come in and say something inappropriate. Insert here. Behind us. And what kind of vehicle is it,
Oh,
Simon?
Look at these typical trucks. Oh, let's just drive side by side and... Yeah, beep that out.